Hey, peace. What's up, guys? Listen up. Kris Krohn here, and today we're going to be jamming on financial planning. There are, in fact, 7 components of financial planning, and I want you to know that because most people are like, I thought there was only 1 or 2 or 3. There are, in fact, 7. All of them are key and important. Today, I want to break that down for you. I'm bringing on a special guest. Welcome back, Rob Gill.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
Hey, what's up, guys? Kris Krohn here. And listen, like I promised, Mr. Rob Gill in the house. They call him Big Sugar. And that's
Ambassador of Results.
The ambassador of results as well, right? So now you know some of his dietary, requirements, as well as the fact that when it comes to production, the man is amazing. And listen, today's video is really dedicated towards this conversation of financial planning and the fact that most people don't know that there's actually 7 different components,
Absolutely.
right? And so I want to jump into this, and I want you to get this, right? So I'm all about the real estate investing and really manifesting destiny. I'm in charge of my financial future, and that's the important thing for you to understand. But you got to surround yourself with a team of people that can do some of the other aspects of the planning so that you have everything in place. And the time for you to start that is when you're crazy young. It's not for when you got money. Everyone's got to start right out of the gate. So that's why I brought Rob on, because Rob understands these 7 components and he's going to be breaking it down for you. So Rob, step 1, financial planning, real quick, what is it?
The first step is retirement planning. And in the space of retirement planning, it's important to understand your goals and objectives and make sure that your financial planner understands your goals and objectives. So when you create a model and a methodology, there's a thought process behind it so you can withstand the slings and arrows that happen in everyday markets. With that being said, you want to be able to have a strategy on exactly what that's going to look like. And that's where you talk to your planners to really get a better, clearer picture.
This is actually the thing that I really appreciate about your company, Epic, is that you guys understand that it's actually not about just saying, hey, let's work on retirement. You should actually know, hey, what do you actually need for retirement? What's the goal? And are you making choices that will actually get you there? That's something that very few people actually do. So I love that that's something that occurs with you guys.
Yep.
What's number 2?
Well, awesome. And just if I could kind of touch on that a little bit, one of the things that we create is models that are flexible. So sometimes we might think retirement planning, I can't touch my money till I'm older. In retirement planning, we want to create strategies that allow you to access your money as you're in the wealth accumulation or the working years of your life. So I just wanted to kind of add to that a little bit. So you might want to be able to invest in other alternative opportunities that can come your way as a result of it.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So step number 2 is education. So education, the more educated we get financially on all the products that are out there today, the advantages of every product and the disadvantages. There's not one great product, so we focus on an overall process and a strategy that, once again, sits and fits with what your goals and objectives are. So from an education standpoint, if you understand how a product may or may not be taxed in the future, or may or may not be subject to changes that happen out of our control, that could lead you down to the path of better decision making.
Excellent. And guys, I'm all about education. That's why every single day I come out with a brand new video on this channel. And by the way, if you really have a commitment to financially educating yourself, make sure that you subscribe and ring that bell. When the video comes out, I want you to get that education and understand, how do millionaires think? How do other people think? How can I gather in more of this information that will help me become who I want and ultimately drive that end financial goal?
Yes, absolutely. So, and one of the things I love about you is what a saver you are, right? You're a saver. And I could say that as you being one of my clients as well.
I think I'm more of an investor than a saver.
Yeah, well, to the point of the 7 components, you want to be able to save an X amount of money each month,
yes,
right? So it allows you to invest in other areas.
Yeah, we call that PYF, pay yourself first,
yes,
which basically means there's a lot of people that actually go to work for their bills. They're going to work so they can just pay for all their past obligations and what their current needs are. And instead, it's like, wait a second, don't forget why you're here in the first place.
Yes.
First and foremost, it's to make sure that you're taking in some money that you can save and then invest and create some new opportunities with, as opposed to just kind of, that's how a lot of people get in a check-to-check space. And so a lot of people, for me, the first priority is you should be trying to save 10, if not 20% of the money that you make, so that you have some other alternatives rather than just servicing debts and prior decisions and current needs.
Absolutely. And we know that the thought of savings is sometimes challenging. If you get past that mental hump and understand the importance of making that your number one priority,
get over it.
Good things begin to really happen. Yeah. And then that leads us to protection, right?
Okay, number 4.
So we want to be able to go down the path of every dollar that we make, we want to be able to protect it. Now, there's certain ways you can protect it, once you save it and then put it into alternative strategies. And understand the protection component is very important because it allows you to make sound decisions. So you want to be able to have models, and we have what we call the Epic Wealth Builder, which allows everyone to measure all of their different financial activities that are out there today. And as a result, they can stress test investment choices that they're going to make versus their current investments to see what it would look like in the future in a hypothetical scenario. So that starts with protection.
No, I love that. Actually, it's amazing that when I got in the game of real estate, for me it was all about creating wealth and creating passive residual income. And now I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, wow, I've had now some experiences that have taught me how important it is to actually make sure that what you're creating, you're protecting. And so I've been able to witness that you guys have a number of options when it comes to
Absolutely.
how do you actually create proper protection for all the different choices that you're making, whether it's real estate investing or money that you're putting in different alternatives or different things.
Yeah, you want to be able to protect, you want to have a financial moat around your castle. If you think about it, 500-600 years ago, people had their wealth inside of a castle, so they built a moat, and inside the moat was alligators and hot oil, so the invading forces couldn't come in. In today's world, it's taxes, inflation, lost opportunity cost, and bad financial decisions, right? So we want to protect our money from disability, we want to protect life insurance, and protect wealth and create generational wealth. And obviously, if you own homes, you want the proper kind of home and car protection as well. Umbrella policies and everything else.
So listen, guys, we've given you already the first 4. We got 3 more to go, but I want to ask you as you're watching this video, how are you doing on your checkoff list? Do you already have these first 4 things in place? If not, I do want you to know there's actually a link in the description below where you have a chance to actually talk with Rob and his team and learn more about making sure that you can check off all 7 of those boxes. I've had an opportunity over the years to get to know, you can imagine, a lot of people in the financial space, and at the end of the day, this is a company that I think has really good sound practices. And it's a company that personally, I'm really comfortable with their practices and how they build business, which is why I personally work with them. Okay, what's number 5?
Okay, Kris, number 5 is estate planning.
Okay.
And, we talk about if you leave this mortal coil, by Shakespeare, by the way.
Okay, that was pretty poetic.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I didn't
appreciate
know
that
that
on
at the
many
time.
levels.
I was at one of your events, and
Yes.
someone came up and asked me if I'm a Shakespeare fan, and I said, no, I'm just Rob from Bayonne.
Okay.
Because I said mortal coil when I was on stage. Anyway, so estate planning is important. Number one, when you talk with your estate attorney and or your tax attorney, the rules are constantly changing. So it's always important to be able to make sure that that stuff is always updated, and you want to get with the right teams to get that done. With that being said, some of the strategies that are key into estate planning are being able to pass on your wealth with as much tax avoidance strategies as you possibly can within the legal rights and the legalities of the tax law, which is constantly changing. So in estate planning is your wills, your trusts. You want to once again be able to put that on the Epic Wealth Builder, which has its own online vault, so you have all your data financially organized once again. Everything is at the speed of light, and all your decision making can be done at the snap of a finger.
Yeah, I love that. Now, I'm impressed with your organization, so I'm very familiar now with these 7 things. Number 6 is actually one of my favorites. Please reveal.
So number 6 is residual income and cash flow.
Boom! Does that get anyone else excited? That's the journey of freedom. It's like at some point maybe I don't have to have a job, or I can do a job that I love because I want to do it. So number 6, that's my mic drop. I'm
not even going to say nothing. It's cash flow, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes once again to proper planning and understanding the advantages and disadvantages of the products that are presented to us through media on a daily basis, versus truly thinking outside of the box, becoming your own entrepreneur and understanding how to buy real estate at levels that you do, which is incredible, right?
Yeah.
So that's where when you tie that into the overall mix, you now get a different rate of return on your world that could complement your rate of return inside of the stock market.
One of the things that's been really important for me in all these years of finding a company that I'm comfortable with, Epic, is that they have a philosophy that says, hey, we understand that alternative investments or things like real estate investing can be incredible sources of producing that residual income. And I think you'll find when you get out there that there's a number of companies that have a very narrow concept of what that means. In fact, a lot of people out there are actually suggesting products that don't actually have any kind of income at all. And at some point that will be problematic. And I think there's no time like the present to start actually evaluating through a new filter something that says, hey, when I'm looking at my options, I'm learning what they are, then residual income is actually a consideration. It's something that I actually need to be looking at. For me, that is what led me to where I'm at today. So I think that's something important to be aware of.
Yes, that's incredible. And just watching how you enter that space and the greatness in that space, I love I love the videos, and I love exactly how you're constantly educating people in that world. Number 7 is tax planning. So tax planning.
Wait, pause. I think everyone just went to sleep for a moment, but I promise, especially if you're young, at some point, if you're having higher levels of success, what he just said is actually important, and the time to be thinking about that is when, Rob?
Today.
Yeah, tax planning, it's important. What are the decisions that you're making? What impact is it going to have on your taxes?
Yeah, and more importantly, the tax law constantly changes. No matter whoever's in office, there's going to be a different tax law. And by the way, the financial institutions are going to bring out different products for that tax law. So you have to understand, once again, advantages, disadvantages. If I'm going to purchase something today, how do I stress test that out in the future? What does that look like, right? Because you want to be able to figure out other ways to save money and deductions that are, once again, in rules and in compliance in the tax law, but also be able to maximize what you could save and also take care of your employees in ways that is non-traditional. So tax planning is very important.
And we got through all 7 of these, dude. Pound,
Bam.
dude. Way to go. Listen, how did you do on all 7 of those? And if you have some of them that are missing, or if you have half of them that are missing or more, if something isn't there, I think that the most well-rounded and balanced financial individuals have paid attention to create a plan on all 7 of these. And I certainly know that Rob and his team are capable of running through those and actually helping you understand a variety of options so that you can make sure that your financial planning looks the way that you want it to. So Rob, thank you for being out here today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
For those of you that are looking for a great team that you can be working with, there is a link in the description below, and you can get in contact with them. There's a reason why I've picked them actually for my own personal financial planning. And I think you can find out how obvious that is and what that might look like for you if you click the link and actually have a chance to say, hey, where are my gaps and how can we fill those in? So take care of that, subscribe, and we'll see you on tomorrow's video.